A Lady D. I'm here with some afternoon thoughts and man, just brainstorming today. It's been one of those days, man. I've had some ups, some downs, some all arounds, but I'm typically feeling a little better today, you know. So that's all good. So I had to chime in and I wanted to kind of talk briefly before I head back to what I need to do in regards to, we have got to stop blaming. It's so easy to blame other people for your issues, for things you're going through, for things that is not going right in your life. Um, Even blaming them if, man, you didn't get that promotion, you didn't get that job, you didn't get that relationship. Whatever it is, you want to blame the next person and not being accountable into looking into the depths of you. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and try to figure some things out about self. It's not about blaming the next person. Um, I've had a few situations come to me lately where people, the first thing they want to do is say, well, it was because they. And it's not about they, excuse me. This is cute. I got to mention this right quick off the record. My baby girl, which is grown baby girl, is having her dental work done. And since she was a little girl, she's always been one that had this phobia about dentists. So for some reason, she likes to call me in the midst of her dental appointments and just have me on the phone. They got stuff all in her mouth, and she's like, she can't even talk. She just need to know. It's like someone there holding your hand. So I'm holding her hand via the phone. So that was her, y'all. So I'm gonna make this short so I can call her back, because she didn't call me 10 times today. She done been back and forth, orthodontist, dentist. And I got you, baby. I'm here. I'm here, baby. So back to what I was saying. Yeah, we want to blame sometimes other people for all the things that's just not going right. And I've had a couple of situations come to me today in regards to the person not really being accountable for making or setting things straight in their lives or their focus. And mind you, we none of us is perfect. We all are work in progress. All of us, whether we want to admit it or not. We all got something that we could be working on, making better, need to work on, something that's not perfect, because we're not perfect beings. So you should always be striving to be better at everything, to be better, to do it better, um, to want better, all of that. But at the end of the day, to be blaming someone else for your shortcomings is all wrong. You have got to be accountable. Now, and you have got to be at a point where, in order for others to help you, get to a better place mentally, physically, even spiritually, you have got to be open to want to embrace and identify that change is needed, that growth is needed, that help is needed. You have to be at that point. Do you know of someone, I know we all do, who you could see it from here to Timbuktu, that their issues is just over and beyond you and anybody else except the man above. And you want to help them, but the first thing they say or want to say is, ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm good. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm okay. I don't need no help. It's all good. I'm all right. It's cool. Y'all excuse me. I got something in my eyelash. There we go. um they want to say it's cool, it's all right, I'm good, I don't need your help, I got this. And then you just sit back and see them just flump, sink in quicksand, and your heart goes out because you want to grab them, you want to save them, you don't want them to sink in the sand. But if they don't want to try to help pull themselves out and they become dead weight with it all, with not even admitting that they want or need your hand or your help to be pulled out of that sand, how can you? And see, it's one thing when you're dealing with children that You kind of, you take the reign. They got to ride with how you want to drive that car. Okay? They got to be the passenger in the way you want them to be the passenger, because they got to do what you want them to do and how. But when you're dealing with someone that is of a grown nature, they're grown adults, they're grown children, they're grown relative, they're grown friends, and they are not holding up to accountability. They do not want to admit that they need help for whatever the issues are, but you clearly see it. You see them sinking. Good afternoon, Dexter. How are you? Yeah. Um, you clearly see them sinking, right? But they don't want no help. They keep saying ain't nothing wrong. They good. What do you do? What do you do, grown folks? You know, my suggestion would be to always put it out there that you are there, that you care, that humbly, they can come to you, talk to you, whatever, but you cannot make a grown person do anything that they do not want to do. And let them know that when they are ready to help themselves, then you are ready to help them, because you can't force it. What you do is you build a bigger bridge between the two of you or three of you, how many it is. You build a bigger bridge apart, and nothing gets resolved. Distance becomes the issue, right? And then you're just in that situation of hopelessness. And that's not what you want. You want to be able to see some progress, to make it a win-win situation for the both of you. But it is so frustrating, I'll tell you, because I've been on this course myself in my life, where I have wanted to help someone that was dear to me that did not want to help themselves in the moment. Now, mind you, I think that whenever we're in a situation, any of us, where we can identify there's issues, whether you got anger management issues, you got being late all the time issues, you got holding a job issue, you got drinking issues, you got drug issues, you got sexual issues, whatever your issues are, you know, you have identified within that you have issues in a certain area, but for whatever reason you try to justify that it's okay, well, or blame the next person. Well, I only have these issues because they ain't always trying to give me none of that good, and so shoot, I have to go out and do it. Quit blaming the next one. Well, I only drink because the person I'm with, they get on my nerves all the time, and I be needing me a cold one, or I don't want to take these medications they trying to give me, so let me band-aid myself with this. They call it self-medicate. Let me self-medicate with this, because this is going to help me through. No, that's going to dig a deeper ditch for your butt. Okay? For real. That's all that does. You become dependent on something additionally stirred up in that pot of whatever gumbo you trying to make. Here you got another situation you got to fight. Please. So, it's all these excuses, and we try to make excuses for whatever the issues are, instead of identifying the issues from within, because nothing changes until you are ready to make a change, until you're ready to reach out and get help. And there's nothing wrong with getting help or wanting help. There's nothing wrong because you want that. We all need help at some point. Heck, I needed help at one point in my life. Not on no substance issues, but I was going through some issues, especially during my divorce time. I had to go talk to somebody to make sure I had to get myself back on course. But I'm back, baby. I'm back. Okay. So, I'm just saying, we all have times in our lives where we need somebody or some circle of somebody. And sometimes I was talking to someone the other night. Sometimes it's good to just embrace yourself around like kind that's going through. That's why support groups are so good. That's why people get into support groups, and they have groups for different things. You may have a Alcoholic Anonymous or Narcotic Anonymous or Al-Anon for uh, family members and friends who's dealing with someone who has certain addictions, and it helps you to deal with it, because you can be an enabler. You could be a codependent person that's making the situation even worse than it is, right? So it helps you. So you have these groups of like kindness that come together, and you realize, wow, I'm not the only one that's dealing with these things. I'm not the only one that need help. Um, you know, for certain situations, I'm not inadequate. It's not that I'm crazy or different. It's just that I am going through a situation that's a part of life that some people go through when they get themselves caught up in the wrong type of situations, thinking that it's going to fix things, trying to self medicate, trying to hang out with the wrong cliche of people. And there is a large percentage of folks who, even with women get into relationships with these men that are addicted to certain things, and they become codependent to them, and then they become users themselves, just to kind of appease that person to try something out. Hey, try this out. You want to try this out? You want to try that out? Check this out. And before you know it, they sucked up, and the vice versa. Men who get sucked up by their women. So you have got to be careful. None of us is invincible. None of us is unreachable. None of us is not approachable. Some of us make concrete decisions and adhere to it, that me personally, I'm not going to play with nothing that I know that could become addictive and ruin my life and strip me of everything that I have, want, and desire in life, and put me in a situation that sometimes is no return, because we have these substances and things out here that once it starts to affect your mental, and it gets in your head, these chemicals, and they change your whole thought process, your whole behavior process, your whole physiological process. Everything gets changed, and sometimes it's irreversible. There's no pill you can take to switch it back like a light switch. You can't just turn it back on and off. There's nothing you can do but go through, and they have medications that perhaps you can take to make the symptoms a lot less and stuff like that. But the damage is there. Just like if you're a smoker and your lungs get burnt from cigarette smoke, and you get these these um these illnesses or diseases that's irreversible, COPD and stuff like that, or lung cancer or whatever, that they can't do anything about. They can't give you a whole new lung oftentimes. They can't erase the lungs being burnt. You just end up you're going to check up out of here, because you need your lungs to survive, to live. So it's the same thing. And nobody's exempt. Make good choices. Grown folks, make good choices for you and your loved ones, because not only are you affecting the quality of your life by blaming other people for your mishaps, by not changing your direction and course of your life, by not living your life to the best of your ability to be the best possible role model for you and yours. When you're not doing that, you're also affecting the ones who depend on you, the ones who love you, the ones who care about you, the ones who need you, the ones who are looking up to you for a role model, for direction, for life's, course. They're looking up to you. Be it that mother, or be it that father, or that uncle, or that brother, or that sister, or that auntie, or whatever it is, you're being looked up to. So when you are in a situation where your life is just compromised that way, your actions are compromised in that way, then you are giving a bad example. You also are running from admitting that you need help and you are disservicing yourself and those who love you by not getting it. So let's not blame others. Let's start being accountable. Let's start fixing what's going on with us so that we can make a difference moving forward. That was my message today. I got to go. Got to go, y'all. Time to go. But I'll be back. Have a great day.